Hassanbhai Jaffer to make his observation.
Chairman, brothers, Assalamu alaikum. First of all, Mr. President, I would like to congratulate you and your team upon your election, and on my own behalf, and for that matter, on behalf of all those present here in the community at large, would like to convey our goodwill and assure you of our cooperation to the best of our ability. Mr. Chairman, without beating about the bush, may I take the liberty, with all due respect, to make few humble suggestions in the hope that it may provide food for thought. Mr. Chairman, looking at the way the Africa Federation is operating, and looking at the way all our Jamaats are operating in East Africa and internationally, and the way things are going on, there have been justifiable requests for change. But our focus of attention in change is on personalities and change from the top. That betrays our innate suppressed psychosis that we are not prepared to admit. In 1870, we said goodbye to the temporal and spiritual leadership of the Aga Khan and opted to function out democratically in pursuit of our faith as follower Imam Zabana Ajalallahu Faraja, and in running the affairs of the community, we assume the responsibility to act as agents and representative of Imam Zamana, to operate free of pride, prejudice, envy, jealousy, or anything, or politics of any sort. Looking at the way things are going today, I dare say that in our operation and in the conduct of our meetings, at a time when we are gathered here today in the year 2010, we should be talking in futuristic terms of where we want to lead the community in the year 2050. But I'm sorry to say that in our operation, in our thinking, in our perceptions and performances, we are operating at best with a mentality that is still frozen in 1960 and 70 at the most. I will not go into much details, but the way the reports are being presented here, the way we are being deliberating, everything is past. Nobody talks of the future, of the current realities that are facing. There are attempts being made to digress us from the burning issue that affects our progeny, our survival for our children, that are brushed aside while we indulge in nitpicking, undermining each other, and in cheap politics. Mr. Chairman, in 1970, Alvin Toffler wrote a book called The Future Shocks. What will the world be like in the future? And the heads of states of all governments read these books and applied their minds to grapple with the situation. Today, we have to think in terms of the future shocks. We are already going through a shocking experiences with the level of disenchantment and disaffection towards the community, especially among the younger generation. This is reflected by a simple example. I remember I used to come to Daressalam when there was a council meeting, and the Jamaat in Daressalam was not more than 3,000. The public gallery was full. Today, the Daressalam Jamaat is 7,000 plus. Look at the gallery, what is the attendance? Not only that, when we started the meeting today, With all due respect, out of 55 delegates from Daressalam, there were hardly 5 present. That shows that people are not interested, and they may have justifiable reason for that. So the biggest challenge we are facing is to instill in the public mind the sense of belonging and ownership of this organization, that they own this organization, they have a say in it, and they have to contribute, and they have a responsibility towards it. The issues that confront us today, to which we are not addressing, is the economic state of the community, the less privileged members of the society, the escalating cost of living, and the changing political patterns in Africa. How is it going to affect us? That is the issue in which we need to get some expertise that need to address. The question of education. We are running 4 schools, Mombasa, Daressalam, Nairobi, and Arusha. Do we have a simple director of education to oversee the performance of the school? Go around the school, interview the children. Those children who go to our school, and compare those children of our community who go to other schools, you will find a difference in their outlook and perceptions. There is something wrong. We are too introvert, and we are too narrow-minded in our handling of the situation. We have no educationists around. Look at the composition of our education boards. The standard pattern in running any school is that 1/3 of the school committee members should represent the community interest. 1/3 should represent the parents' interest, and there should be 1/3 who should be educationists. If we don't have educationists in our community, we should hire out. Now, this is something that we have to address. Look at the question of higher education. If a girl applies for a scholarship loan, the Council Higher Education Board or the Jamaat Education Board look on the accounts and the financial side only and grant loan without recognizing what future, how will they adapt. I can give examples of girls who have taken business administration on the council loans. They have gone, and when they got married, they could not continue with the job. Now, these are the issues that need to be taken very professionally. Let us take the example of religious education. The religious education is left to the voluntary madrasa teachers who are doing best, and we need to compliment and appreciate them. But there is need for educationists to oversee the performance of education and to ensure that there is no dichotomy of approach in teaching method in academic schools and in madrasa. This is causing confusion in the children's mind. Here also, we don't necessarily have to get mullah or maulvi from Iran or Pakistan to do that. We need educationists proper, with good understanding of religion to supervise. Just to get hold of somebody who's an alim, but who has never been to college or university himself, who is not a trained teacher, he cannot be a good madrasa teacher in this day and age. That's a reality we have to accept, and we must not be sentimental about it. The biggest question confronting us is the matrimonial question. I think this has to be addressed much more seriously. I mean, I've heard shocking statistics about Daressalam and even in Mombasa and other Jamaats in Europe and America. Gentlemen, we are applying our minds as volunteers with all good intentions. The age of counseling has come in. The counseling, pre-marital counseling is absolutely essential. Only post-marital counsel by amateurs will not work. Now, when it comes to, if I go back 1 minute, when it comes to religious education, we talk of money, but we are prepared to spend thousands and thousands of dollars in getting zakirin for Muharram only, but we are not prepared to get educationists to oversee the madrasa education. It is time we apply our minds. Another question is the role of women in our society. We, being Indians by nature, have our innate prejudice, and in many ways are oppressors of our women. This is the truth that has to be said. And today, if you look at it, our girls are more educated than the boys. Intellectually, our girls are more inclined than the boys. The boys are very busy making money, eating pariki, marungi, and playing sports and sleeping all the time, while it is the mother, the young girls who get up early in the morning to take their children to school and then look after the house and also assist in business. We, in the name of giving freedom to our women, have enslaved them more. Yesterday, coming out of this conference here, I met a lady here, and she asked me a question. Why were we invited to this conference as spectators? For what? Do we have a say, anything? Will you hear our voice? You go to Canada, you go to England, you go to World Federation meeting, when women are invited, they do have a say. They are our sisters, they are our daughters, they are our mothers, they are not our enemies. And it is time we change our outlook. And in some of the management of our Jamaat, if you look at the ladies section, we like to dominate and appoint ladies. Why don't we allow ladies to elect their own leaders the way we elect? Why are we still oppressors living in the age of Jahiliyyah? Mr. Chairman, these other issues need to be addressed, and I would suggest that it is asking too much of the office bearers to perform miracles. No, sir. It's not going to work because the office bearers have their families to look after, their business to run. And the community, when it comes to paying for full-time, is not going to work to that extent. What I suggest is that we may consider the possibility of establishing think tanks on various issues at the central level and at local Jamaat levels. And there should be efforts made to travel around all Jamaats and sensitize the public. The council cannot perform at all until the Jamaats perform. The Jamaats, most of the Jamaats, with all due respect, are underperforming, are run and influenced by warlords, power barons, influence peddlers, and the religious pundits. And the combination of these four sources, you get one meaning, and that is what we are going through. The time for change and revolutionary change has come and overdue. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Hassanbhai Jaffer. The chairman wants to make a short announcement.